For SUTV, my name is Justin Goodhart, alongside Jake Gillespie, for this special sports edition of SUTV. For the next 20 or so minutes, we'll be talking about how Shippensburg sports are progressing during the season, and for the teams that are in the off-season, we'll hear from some of our senior athletes as they prepare for the next leap.
Three championships in 6 years. That's the amazing statistic that Shippensburg University's field hockey team has achieved during what can only be called a dynastic run. What's more amazing is that they are repeat champions, which hasn't been accomplished since Westchester University won back-to-back titles in 2011 and 2012. Let's relive the best moments from the field hockey season and take a look at what made them heart-strong.
The Shippensburg University field hockey team finished the 2017 season as NCAA Division II champions for the second year in a row. It was a big challenge for a team that was starting fresh with new head coach Tara Zollinger, especially considering she had to replace the Shippensburg coaching legend in Bertie Lands. The former champs picked up where they left off last season early, scoring 10 goals in their first 2 games. That, alongside an 8-game win streak, helped earn a 17-4 record with a PSAC leading divisional record of 9-1. Their success comes in the form of an outstanding effort by Shippensburg field hockey players. Senior and team captain Emily Barnard concluded a tremendous collegiate career by leading the PSAC in goals with 20, which is also a career high. She also led the team in shot on goal percentage with 76% and finished as the PSAC Field Hockey Athlete of the Year.
Has it go off a foot, they'll continue. Bernard, the stick scoop, the shot, and the goal! Emily Bernard with a nifty move.
Supplementing Barnard was the young talent of freshman Jasmine Petrantonio, who ended her debut season with the second most points for the team with 36.
Here comes Petrantonio on the stroke. Scores, roofs it.
Petrantonio made Shippensburg history early by setting the NCAA Division II record for most assists in a game with an assist on all 6 Shippensburg goals against Millersville in September. On the back end was second-team captain and starting goaltender Allie Mooney, who came in 4th in the PSAC for save percentage with 77.4% and 5th in saves per game with 4.57. The field hockey team was heavily decorated in 2017. The coaching staff was named the National Field Hockey Coaches Association Division II Atlantic Division Coaching Staff of the Year. 3 players were named NFHCA Field Hockey All-Americans. 4 players were selected to the 2017 NCAA Division II All-Tournament team, as well as a team earning its 3rd NCAA Division title in 5 years. With the young talent they currently have, including Jasmine Petrantonio, who was voted the NFHCA Longstrath Atlantic Region Player of the Year, expectations will remain high. Cameron Kline, SUTV Sports.
Speaking of great teams here in Shippensburg, the Red Raiders football team became just the 5th team in school history to reach 10 wins in a season. This included 2 5-game win streaks and a playoff appearance for the first time since 2012. There were so many reasons to come out on Saturday to watch our Red Raiders, but above all else, this was a team that wasn't just good, they were dominant. Let's take a look back on an incredible season for our Shippensburg Red Raiders.
Takes a snap, he fakes, he fires, he completes the ball. That is to, oh, he lost the ball! He loses the ball, Shippensburg has it! Running with the ball is Tyler Enke, he scores! Touchdown, Red Raiders!
The Shippensburg Red Raiders went 10-2 this past season, going to their first playoff game since 2012. We asked cornerback Kevin Taylor about it to share his thoughts on what kept this team together during a strenuous season.
Like, as a group, as a team, we just had fun. Like, that's one thing that you'll hear from a lot of people playing football is like you always hear that cliche thing, if I'm not having fun, I'm going to stop doing it. So, like, everyone enjoyed it. So, like, that 5-hour trip or that 6-hour trip, that was fun for us. Like, we were just enjoying each other's time, just, like, hanging out. It's just a bunch of guys on the bus. It can't get more fun than that.
One question we asked Kevin was just how was the defense able to remain so dominant throughout the entire course of the season, ranking them in the top 3 in Division II football.
The guys that are next to you, in front of you, behind you, as DBs, we have to trust the D-line because they got to give pressure. They got to get to the line, to the quarterback. The linebackers got to cover everything underneath us. So it's steps of trust. So if you trust each other, if you completely like don't question anything that they're gonna do, then you could be successful. You trust it, you do your job, everything works out.
The biggest game of the season came at Kutztown University when Shippensburg traveled to play them on their homecoming. We asked Kevin if that was business as usual or if there's a little bit of an extra kick to playing against Kutztown.
That's a different game. Kutztown's a different game than being fun. It was more business because we don't like Kutztown. Like I have like childhood friends there from East Orange, and I hate them. Like I love them to death. Like we cool, but when you're on that field, it's like I don't like you. When I come to your school, I don't like you. And that was kind of the mindset of everybody because Kutztown players were posting pictures, telling how they're gonna spoil it again, how they're gonna spoil our dreams. And if you do that to us, you're not gonna get that 2 years in a row. So we made sure that we came in straight business, like warm-ups. There was no laughing, no joking. It was just straight business.
For SUTV Sports, I'm Justin Goodhart.
When we come back, we keep on rolling with sports as basketball fever took a strong hold on Shippensburg that saw the defending PSAC champion men's basketball team roll on, and our women's team with a new identity, but the same expectations.
The Career and Community Engagement Center provides students with support and opportunities to help achieve their professional goals. The center can assist you with choosing a major, finding an on-campus job, building and then printing a resume, and more. It is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in room 108 of the Cub. Stop by today or email career@ship.edu to set up an appointment.
We've all been in the same situation at one point. You're in the middle of an important project when suddenly...
Oh no, what happened?
Don't worry, young man. IT can help. Just call 717-477-HELP. From Wi-Fi problems to account issues and everything in between, IT will work to find a solution for you.
Thanks, IT.
717-477-HELP. Or you can visit the help desk located in the library lobby. This has been a message from SUTV.
Jake, our men's basketball team for the second straight season won at least 20 games, were in the big dance, and went further than any other Shippensburg team in the Division II tournament in school history. Just how incredible is that?
That's right, Justin. When you lose a point guard like Abe Maselli to graduation, it's always tough. But when you have the three-point machine in Justin MacArthur and the big man in the middle like Dustin Sleva, you can almost expect to see the type of results we've seen this past 2 seasons.
Just how good were they? Well, sit back and check out these highlights from the greatest show on the court.
The Shippensburg University men's basketball team hit the court in November after winning their second PSAC title in school history. They've come a long way since only winning 3 games 4 seasons ago, and senior Dustin Sleva describes the transition of going from the underdog to the top dog.
Because the first 3 years, it was completely different because we came in every year as being the underdog, so we always had the chip naturally. So this year, it's kind of, we were in a transition of having that chip while we're up too. So we struggled a little bit with that in the beginning. You know, we lost like Wilmington early and Edinburgh early. It was just a transition process.
It was a transition that proved successful. With a 9-game win streak midway through the season, the Raiders finished with a 25-8 record. They also went farther than ever before in the NCAA Division II tournament, including a win over a heavily favored West Liberty team.
They're a top team in the country. They're a powerhouse, West Liberty. They didn't recruit me in high school, so I was like, all right, you know, I got to do what I got to do with them. So, but
after such a successful season, the question becomes, what's next? With Sleva leaving the team alongside Justin MacArthur and Clay Connor, there will only be 2 returning players that were in the starting lineup this year. Despite the loss of manpower, Sleva believes Shippensburg basketball will be a continued success.
But so I think they'll be fine. You know, they're going to recruit some good guys to come here, fit the system and everything, and you know, I get anything I could do to help with work.
While here at Ship, Sleva was like no other. In 4 years, he played 120 games, collected 1,140 rebounds, became Shippensburg's all-time point leader with 2,071 points, and brought home a PSAC title in his favorite game against IUP.
In that game, it was just everything came into play. The crowd, the fans, everybody hated me, which is what I like. So.
As for his personal future, Shippensburg's best basketball player will remain in the gym.
Yeah. So basically, I signed with an agent last Monday. He took us out to eat and everything, and just gave me a couple options to where to go. I'll probably end up having a couple NBA tryouts, but most likely for the next level, I'll probably end up playing overseas somewhere.
Cameron Kline, SUTV Sports.
When you have to replace 4 out of the 5 starters on a basketball team, well, it can always be hard, and you might see some growing pains, and that is what we saw with our women's basketball team this season. So, Justin, what is the best way to deal with the team in transition like that?
Well, for starters, how about recruiting the PSAC Freshman of the Year, who was also selected to the 2017-2018 All-PSAC First Team? That woman is Ariel Jones, and she was as dynamic as they come, averaging 21.8 points per game, shot over 84% from the charity stripe, and shot nearly 44% from the field. I would say that's an awesome way to deal with some people who might say that this is a youthful team.
Sounds good to me. But let's take a look at how our women handled their business on the court this season.
As the Shippensburg Raiders women's basketball team wrapped up their season, we were able to sit down with Victoria Blackburn to talk about the transition that the team had to go through after losing 4 out of their 5 starting seniors from the 2016-2017 season.
I think the biggest challenge was probably getting everybody up to speed. I was used to playing with a bunch of seniors that had a bunch of experience not only on the court but off the court as well. You know how freshmen are. Freshmen are new to the whole college experience. We were all freshmen once. So just helping them adjust from the high school level of basketball and also academically, helping them adjust from high school to college. Coming into this year, we knew that we were going to be young. We knew that we didn't have a lot of experience, but we also had high hopes, and we knew we had to work extra hard to get to the point that, the girls in years prior, to get to that point. So we just focused this year mainly on improving, and I think that was something that we definitely did, from start of the season to the end of the season. Improvement was, we definitely improved a lot. There were certain drills and practices that were the most simple drills, at least in my mind, because I was used to doing them for forever, that we could not do. And then by the end of the season, we would do them and we would crush them. So just to see that improvement was really neat. And hopefully going into next year with a lot of new girls coming in once again, hopefully they can take that experience and that improvement from this year and continue it on next year.
Not only did she have to play as the only returning senior, but 2 other seniors returned as assistant coaches, which made it even weirder for her, as Blackburn stated.
It was weird for me. I used to joke with them all the time, you guys lacing up today, right? You brought your sneakers, yeah. And we would just joke back and forth about it because I miss playing with them so much. You never realized, obviously I knew they were great to play with while they were here, but now that they're gone, it's wow, I miss that. And a couple times they actually did some drills with us, and it made me really happy. I wish they could still play, but.
Ariel Jones was one of the rising stars from this Shippensburg team as a freshman. We asked Victoria just how does she lead to a better Shippensburg team?
I think that sky's the limit for her. Once again, she's one of those people that from the beginning of the year to the end just improved. And she's amazing. She's an amazing player, and what she accomplished this year was awesome. And I think next year, the team having her back again, she's going to take what she learned from this year and hopefully apply it to next year.
Finally, we had a little bit of fun with Victoria, asking her what her favorite team to beat was in the PSAC, and she did not disappoint in her answer.
Obviously Westchester, because who doesn't love to beat Westchester? So
waiting for someone to say Westchester.
Nobody else said Westchester.
We've got an IUP, which hasn't been a rival of ours in years. We got Millersville, which I didn't even know.
Millersville's another good one too. We really Kutztown, honestly, all of them, but definitely Westchester. It feels good to beat them. I don't know why. It's Westchester, I don't know.
For SUTV Sports, I'm Justin Goodhart.
Coming up next, we talk to 2 athletes who are in the midst of an important season's run. We'll talk with softball's Tara Bicco and baseball's Gabe Mosser right after this.
An emergency can happen at any time at any place. What would you do if you had an emergency? There are 39 emergency phones on campus, strategically placed where you may need them.
Sergeant Taylor, University Police, what's your emergency? Can you confirm your location for me? Okay, we'll get someone down there to you shortly.
Emergency phones are here for a safe campus. University Police remind you to use them if you need them, and don't press if you don't.
If you're looking for a fun way to get that summer body, come join the Rec Center. Located right on campus, they offer many ways for students to get their workout in. The upstairs includes an ab area, a running track, free weights, ellipticals, and treadmills. Downstairs, students are able to enjoy the courts for basketball or volleyball. And if you're looking for something fun to do with a group of friends, try out a group fitness course or the racquetball courts.
Despite a pair of losses on the road during a doubleheader against PSAC rival East Stroudsburg this past weekend, the 2018 season was a successful one for the Shippensburg University softball team. The team finished the season 21-17 with some notable moments that will be remembered here for quite some time.
Yes, Jake, absolutely. After being voted as third in the 2018 PSAC Eastern Division preseason coaches poll, bit of a mouthful, Shippensburg came into this season with some high expectations, and they proved throughout the season that they deserve such expectations. The month of March in particular showcased the skills of this team with earning a PSAC Eastern Pitcher of the Week, along with a Player of the Week, with a thwarting of the University of the Sciences in Philadelphia, where Shippensburg tallied 24 runs in total in a doubleheader.
And one of the leaders of the team is senior Tara Bicco, who we were able to sit down with and talk about this season as well as her 4 years here at Shippensburg.
We recently sat down with Tara Bicco, a senior from the Shippensburg softball team, to ask her how she and the team are maintaining themselves during their playoff run.
Just working hard day in and day out with my teammates to accomplish the goals that we set for ourselves. We have a positive mindset going into the season. We made a statement last year finishing 4th in the PSAC playoffs out of 17 teams, so we'd like to go even further this year.
Shippensburg is currently 6-6 in PSAC play and 19-15 overall, heading into the final stretch of the season. Back in March, Tara Bicco and Chloe Collins were actually named Players of the Week by the PSAC. We asked Tara how that motivates her and the team to doing so well.
We kind of let accolades like that motivate us. We always stay humble, and that just translates to practice too. We feed off of each other. With the energy that's given off, you don't necessarily have to be the most vocal to be a leader, and we let our actions speak for themselves.
Tara Bicco being here the last 4 years would leave her no stranger to the connection that the Shippensburg softball team shares with each other. So when asked about how the team does stick together and how the team does trust one another, it was no surprise to hear her say her fair share about what the team and how their trust keeps them together.
We trust each other immensely, and it all kind of falls back to what we don't do or what we do outside of softball. We have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and library dates together, but it's nice to unwind and kind of just be together. So that chemistry outside of softball kind of translates to when we are in the game setting.
In her 4 years here, Tara has played many teams from across the PSAC. We decided to have a little fun and ask her which team she loved to beat the most.
That would probably be Westchester. They're very nice girls, but because they're very good and they've won the PSAC East for the past 3 years, that just kind of motivates us, and we just want to beat them.
For SUTV Sports, I'm Justin Goodhart.
Unlike the softball team, Shippensburg's baseball team continues its season with a doubleheader against Kutztown University on Friday, followed by the conclusion of the season with another doubleheader against those Golden Bears on Saturday. The Shippensburg baseball team is currently 22-21 and sits in 6th place of the PSAC Eastern Division. Success has come at the hands of pitchers Andy Crum, Zach Sims, and Gabe Mosser, all of whom have earned PSAC Eastern Division Pitcher of the Week at least once throughout the season. We sat down with Gabe Mosser, and he let us in on his perspective of the season, as well as show to us the importance of family.
With only 4 games remaining, the 2018 season has been a series of ups and downs for the Shippensburg baseball team. With a record of 22-21, Shippensburg baseball sits at 6th place in the PSAC East. One of the positives for the team is the pitching core. A piece of that core is senior Gabe Mosser. Gabe became a part of Shippensburg record books by throwing the 8th solo no-hitter in school history earlier this year against Pittsburgh Johnstown. We sat down with Gabe and asked him how difficult it is to remain focused while in the process of such a feat.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard because you hear the guys are getting a little rowdier. They know it's coming, so you just try and close your ears and just kind of focus on the next pitch. I mean it's tough because you hear everyone talking about it.
Throwing a no-hitter is a wonderful accomplishment, but for Gabe, this one was a bit more special.
And it was a really sentimental no-hitter to me because my aunt passed away like 2 days before that, and her daughter told me that I was going to throw a no-hitter that day. So I mean I honestly cried after. I mean it was really emotional to me and my dad and my mom, and I mean it was something to never forget. So
making up the rest of the pitching corps is fellow senior Andy Crum and redshirt sophomore Zach Sims. Sims, Crum, and Mosser each received PSAC East Division Pitchers of the Week at least once this year. Shippensburg is well known for its history of strong pitchers, and after throwing that no-hitter, it's a history Gabe can consider himself a part of.
I mean, it's an honor because, I mean, the arms that have come out of this school is unreal. I mean, Matt Wright, I mean, he was a draft guy, and, I mean, it's just an honor to just be segmented into that, so.
In order to find success on and off the field, Gabe advises incoming freshmen, athlete or not, to push their limits.
I would say just put as much work in as you can, and I mean just push yourself to the max because I mean you only got 4 years left of your career, so you might as well make the best of it. So I mean I would just push yourself to the max.
Gabe and the rest of the Shippensburg baseball team will have to do just that as they close out the season with back-to-back doubleheaders against Kutztown this weekend. I'm Cameron Kline, SUTV Sports.
That's all about we have time for on the Raider Rundown. Despite some bumps in the road, the 2017-2018 season was a success for Shippensburg athletics and provided memories these athletes will live on with forever. I'm Justin Goodhart.
And I'm Jake Gillespie.
Good night and go Raiders!